Ooh, is this thing on now? Um, Hello, my name is Phil, and I'm going to show to how I sync multi-camera video together in Adobe Premiere. I have version 23, 23.2.0. And I've got a new project here, and I wanted to show people have questions about how to do this. Um, Maybe I make a tutorial video. I made a couple of these. Maybe there's different situations that come up for each one. This will be my latest one. And all I've done so far is I've made this project. I've dragged over my video files into the project window, and I created proxies for each of the files. That's all I've done so far. I really highly suggest that you create proxies before you edit Multicam. So I didn't record this video. There was another gentleman that recorded the video, and I gave him some instructions on how to do like a clap kind of thing to help me sync the audio and video together. So we're gonna try to sync our video with that. We have 3 cameras and 1 Zoom call, a Zoom meeting recording. I'm not sure how this stuff goes together yet. I haven't really looked a whole lot into what's going on here. But my goal right now for this video is I want to set up the multi-camera sequence and show you how I do that. So what I'm going to do, there's 3 cameras here. If we look at each camera, this is what we're looking at. This is a recording of this gentleman giving a presentation. So there's 3 different angles of that. This that we're looking at is one camera. Zoom mouse, yeah. I think there's another camera on the table. There's 2 other cameras. This same model camera. I let him borrow my equipment. Okay, let's get one put there, and another one here on the table. So what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to sync all these 3 cameras together. We're going to try to then sync the Zoom recording to that. And then we're going to import that into a sequence, and then we're going to try to sync some microphones to it as well. There's no time code. I don't have nice equipment where I could do time code type stuff. We have to do it manually. We're going to find a common point in each of the camera and recordings, and try to sync to that section. So what we'll do, my instructions to him were to start the cameras and start the microphones, and then do a clap. Okay, here he goes. It's like he's gonna do that. So we'll just fast forward a bit.
Testing 1, 2, 3. This is the audit ornamentation, and here's the sync.
Okay, right there. That's great. That's exactly what I want. So we're gonna come down. We're gonna find the point where his hands meet. I think the hand meets there, and he's just pressing down. I think there's a little bit of delay in the audio for the frame. So I'm gonna say this is the point that I want to find in all the cameras, and we're gonna set that point right there. And to do that, I'm gonna press the I key on my keyboard. I'm gonna hide my camera here so you can see what's gonna happen. It's gonna mark an I. Will make an end point. Make it endpoint. So it puts an endpoint here at this section. And we're going to do that same thing for each of the videos. So he's got the other camera right there. So he was pointing all three cameras together at the same spot, just like I asked him. Thank you. Let's fast forward a bit until we can get to where. Okay, here we go. He's about to clap for us. There. Okay. There. Right. There. Okay, I'm going to press the I to mark an endpoint. Good. Third camera. And start that plan. I found this again right there. I. Okay. There's our three cameras. We have the Zoom recording also, but I think the Zoom recording doesn't start until later. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find the camera sync there. We're gonna have to do that separately. We're gonna have to sync that separately. Just fine. Let's me show you how to do that. So now we got three cameras that we've marked at endpoint for. The same point. It doesn't matter what your point is. It could be anything. It could be a light turning on or off, like what I usually do or something. So we're gonna highlight the three cameras that we're going to sync together. This one, I will sync this later, but that's not marked as the in or out, so we don't have that available. So we're just going to do the ones that we put an endpoint in. I'm going to right click the first one. I think it matters which one you start with. I want this to be camera 1, this to be camera 2, this to be, I'm sorry, I want this to be track 1, track 2, track 3. So I think it matters where you right click. Like if I right click here and start it, this will be track 1, 2, and 3. If I right click here and start it, I think this will be track 1, 2, and then 3. So I haven't fully tested that theory yet, but I've noticed things like that. So anyway, I'm going to right click the first one, create multi-camera source sequence. Okay, we can name this where you want. I used to just name it multicam. Synchronized point is the endpoints. Remember, we set endpoints for each of those videos, and I leave everything else default. I don't mess with any of that stuff. I just hit OK here, and we now have a multicam, and it named it it included the first track name. I'm going to take that out, and we'll just say multicam. Now we can open this in the timeline, and we can see basically all it did is it creates a track for each camera, creates an audio track for each camera as well, and the very beginning, like frame 0 here, is the endpoint that we had selected earlier. We can see here, this is where he's clapping. This follows the same kind of things that normal Premiere does, where the highest track is what's shown here. If I want to switch to the other cameras, I can just hide that track. I can hide that shows this camera. I can hide that track. That's confusing. So if I want to see that camera, so I can hide all the cameras. So we can switch between the cameras, and we can see that they're all in the same point because he's clapping his hand right there in that same location. That's great. That's what I want. And that's it. That is now synced. Now, what I like to do additionally is I like to bring over the previous section of the video, and I do that by just dragging over. What I would like to do is create a cut right there so that we can tell that's where our marker is. And I like to have all of the video. Should be a little different, right? Did he? It's like they're all turned on at the exact same time, which is just not common. There we go. Wasn't wasn't getting it just right. Okay, that's what we want. So this should be all the beginning of all that. Um, then I'm going to uh, get to the earliest one. Marker O for out point. Go to the beginning of the file. Marker I. And press my apostrophe. I think it's backspace now for the cutting that dead space. Now the very beginning of the video is recorded will be at the very beginning of that. It just helps me. And I'm looking at time. Helps me to find things. um, so okay, that's our endpoint. And the only other thing that I would want to do, if we can, is to bring in the zoom. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add another track. Here, I'm gonna add one track after 3 and one audio track after. That's fine. And let's bring in the zoom recording that we have. And drop it there like that. I have no idea where this is gonna go on this timeline. No clue. I'm just eyeing it here. Like maybe that's this point. Maybe that's right there. Does that look possible? I don't know about that. Not sure when that. Not sure when that would be. Just eyeing it. I like to eye it up first. Thought maybe that would be right there, but it's here. Sorry, I'm just give me something to look at. I don't know. It's not obvious to me where sync is here. Each of these tracks are the audio from the cameras. I'm just looking to see. It should all be the same, right? This one's bigger for some. It's supposed to be the one closest to him, maybe. I'm just looking to see if there's a something. I don't know. What's some other things that I could try? I bet that's it. It looks pretty close. I was looking at these marks here. That might be it. That lines up. That lines up. That stuff lines up. I bet this is it right here. Let's see if we can't get that right on that mark too. Zooming in and trying to put that right there. But that's it. Yeah. Can we see if we go? Okay, here he is here. Yeah, look at that movement of his head. That's it. You can see here his head in this camera, and then this is the zoom. It's a little bit off. His mouth's open here, his mouth's closed here, it looks like. Off like a... Is it? Or is it just his mustache or something? It's just difficult to see his mouth. Because it looks pretty damn close. No, it's a little different. There's mouse open. Okay, it's a little bit different. Just a little bit. We lined that one thing up pretty damn good. What was that here? What was that we lined up? This one? But it could be that the audio delay between the cameras may be a little bit different. Let's move this a frame over. I'm gonna Alt and press the left key. Move that a frame over. See if that makes us any. I think so. It's not any better. Let's move it back. Let's move it right. The other thing to consider that Zoom meeting may not be a what's it called? Constant frame rate. Right? Maybe a variable frame rate, so it's not may not line up. You may get it synced at one point, but then when you look elsewhere in the video, it's no longer synced because it's variable frame rate and not a constant frame rate. Let's see. Let's move this.
Doing okay?
Zoom is faster. Let's make the zoom slower. It's I don't know, it's tough to say because like I said, the variable frame rate messes things up. Loved all kinds of music. As you can see, he loved French music. Whenever Bach took I'm not caring about the audio sync. I'm caring about the video sync. Zoom is like one frame ahead, maybe. Yeah, there's a little difference in zoom because I can move this. I can move the frames, and it doesn't move. So this is not going to be a. But it's pretty damn close at that point anyway. Let's see about this point. You see something that it's still really, really, really close. That might be as good as we're going to get. Because like I said, it zooms not at the same frame rate as the cameras. So
After Scarlatti died, and Maria Barber, I guess, died too, and they got another.
okay, but I think that's pretty good there. That's zooms to 200%. I think a little bit more than that. It can still be more than that. So that is right. Okay, let's do that. Okay, there's our synced. Okay. Once you have these cameras synced together, um, then we can need to create a sequence out of this timeline. Just checking, see if it looks the same. Look at his hands, his fingers. It's a good way to tell finger position. It's something if it's in sync or not, because fingers will move really quickly usually. If you look at a frame when one hand's open and the other hand's closed, that's a pretty. And if you look at one track and one hand's open and the other track, the same hand is closed, for instance, that's a good sign that it's not in a good sync. Here, that hand is open every time in all four views. Okay. All right. Once you get your multicam timeline, uh, all I do here is I get the cameras lined up together. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing the microphones yet. I have separate microphones. Um, the one track here that's not muted, I'm not even going to use that audio either. But it's a guideline to help me line up things. So there, I thought I had it right. Maybe zoom in a little more. So perfect. Chop it off there. It's the top right there. Why is it? It's like it's where's enter, but it drops it down. Sometimes you just have to, try things. I want to be sure there's not a frame around that edge somewhere. It's where it's showing the. All right. Check my mail real quick. Okay, the cameras are like we want. No, close that. Now we're gonna find the timeline that we created, this multicam timeline that we just created. We need to turn it into a sequence. To do that, we just right click it, new sequence from clip. It makes a sequence, and I like to name it project. That's just what I do. And what it has done is it's made a track, one video track and one audio track. We expand it out, we can see what we have here. This is where we're going to cut to different cameras. Right here, we're at camera 1. We see that because it says MC1, and it has the file name, not the track name, I don't think, file name. What you might want to do is open up the timeline again in another window so you can have that to reference. But this track 1, B1, track 1, is the MC1. And you can switch between different cameras by pressing the number keys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for each track. So if I press number 2, that changes to track 2. We're at MC2, which is this B2 track. If I press number 3, it changes to camera 3. Okay, so I can press this on 3, I can press 2, I can press 1, 2, 3, press 4. That's to the zoom track, but there's no content there. Yeah, we'll probably around here somewhere. We can go over now. We can see where the zoom track is. Then that goes away. So that's how you switch that. It's going to be very handy for you to look at all the cameras at one time here on this screen. And to do that, we're going to press this button here, toggle multi-camera view. I think this button doesn't usually show. I think you have to add it by going here and finding this button here, dragging it to your bar. But you want a button here that says toggle multi-camera view. When I click that, that shows you your cameras, all the cameras that you have. You ever just have 4 cameras? If you have more than 4, then it shows 9 cameras. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 cameras. If we just have 4 cameras, so it's showing 4 view there. That's nice. Now we can scroll along here, and we can see all the cameras at one time. Just continuing to look and see if things look like they're synced up. And they're pretty good. Okay. Of course, you see how to do the 1, 2, 3. If I press 1, this camera lights up. to show that we're on that camera. For press number 2, this one lights up. Press number 3, this one lights up. Press number 4, this one lights up. Now the trick is that you want to be able to, of course, cut between the different cameras throughout your sequence, right? So to do that, you can just go here. You can press C to make a cut. Click your razor there, and it makes a cut there. I don't want to cut the audio here, so I'm going to Control Z, and I'm going to press V to go to select. I'm going to select these 2 tracks. I'm going to unlink these 2 tracks, so I'm not cutting the audio track there either. Okay, I'm going to press C again. Cut right there. Now I have 2 different clips. I can make this one be camera 1. I can make this one be camera 2. I can make another cut. Press V and click here. Press number 3, and that's camera 3. And it's going to automatically change the camera. See how it's highlighted in yellow? As I scroll through the timeline, it's going to switch the cameras. Okay. Go out of multicam. Does it show? Yeah, it shows the different. It's there. So that's what would happen in the final video. It would switch to that camera in the final video. That's one way that you can cut. You could just make a cut and select the thing, set the clip that you want, and then switch it to the number that you want. So your thumbnails update also to show you which ones are there. This name changes as well. That's one thing you could do if I want to. Another thing you could do is you can just play. So I hit space to start playing. Then you can click the cameras. So I click number 1, click number 2, click number 3, click number 4. If I stop and look, I have to zoom in to see probably. There's a cut for each of those right there. So that's all I did. You can click, or you can press the memory keys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Press space to stop, and it makes cuts. Each of those. Turn off audio camera. We can watch this. Switches between that. Okay. So you can live cut as well if you're feeling adventures. Now I don't want to actually do these cuts, right? So I'm gonna press. So a few things you can do. You can press Control Z, of course, to just undo. Another thing to do is that I can take this cut and drag it to that cut, and that would erase that section and make it a combined section. And I can press N. N is this key, rolling edit tool. Click on that cut and drag it over to that cut. And that will essentially remove that cut. Click that, click, drag that cut. And click this and drag it to that cut. I've removed those cuts. Another thing you can do, if they're this, like, let's say that I've ended up with these and I don't want to go all the way back. There's a cut here and a cut here. I want to remove this cut, and they're the same camera. Camera 3. Okay. I can right click right there on the cut and join through edits. And that removes the cut. But it has to be the same camera. So let's just make them all one again. Right click, join through the edits. Join through edits. Go back to one camera check. Here. And that's the basics of cutting multi-camera. I need to sync my microphones. So I guess I can do that. Let's see how to do that. Mm, Need to find my microphones. Going to make a bin for the device. We have one microphone there. And I have four H2Ns. Okay, it's importing in those audio. To clean this up a bit, I'm probably just gonna make a new bin for audio. Maybe I can take these and drop them into there, and make a new bin for video. Source files. There, it just leaves me multicam timeline and the project sequence. I'm gonna wait for this to import in the audio files. Still cool. If anybody's watching, you can ask any questions you have. I don't know if anybody's watching or not. Um, Shouldn't take long. Don't want the audio from the cameras. This audio track here is from the don't want to record. This audio track here is from the multicam sequence, and I don't want to actually use that because the microphones in those cameras suck. So we're not going to use those mics. I'm just going to mute that. It's a good guide to help me line up the actual microphones we're going to use. Okay, looks like it's done. All right, let's get a few things. Okay, we're going to get this track here. Okay, this should be a mono track. Let's see how it brings over. Okay. This is that microphone on his tie or shirt right there. It's that microphone. Yeah, let's see if we can visually line it up. Maybe it might be like right there. Maybe no. Here maybe. It's obviously longer. like it might be about there. Because that lines up, this lines up, this lines up. Let's give it a go.
Oh, okay, let me do this. So I just have to press a button.
It's not right because he's.
So this is your play spot. I should tuck in there. Say when.
It's pretty close, I think.
Oh, okay, let me do this. So I just have to press a button. That was ornamentation. With a vengeance, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes I used to hear, nobody does this anymore. They say, well, they didn't sing very well in those days.
You're getting in the channel. Okay. I'm going to need to bring it in as a mono track, I think. I need to delete this track and this track. Let's just do that. Let's add track. Let's add tracks. For some reason, you have to add tracks. Add one track, and I want to add it as a track. And bring it over again so that we can drop it right there. We don't need this anymore. Now, I thought I lined that up perfectly. Oh, it's because I moved it over a bit there. That should do it.
These examples proved
Now
what
it's stereo.
virtuosos they were then,
What I
as great, if
put through into the stereo.
not greater. In fact, when a singer would sing something like this and then ornament it, chances are the audience would go crazy and then ask for an encore, and she would have to do more ornamentation. Let's hear another. His first example is about this is the art sang or played.
I want to see him play. I don't just want to see him play for a minute. I've not seen him play yet.
Moving on. Now the ornamented version.
This is just off of that microphone there, right? Yeah. That's really good to pick up the violin from over there. Okay, anyway. Now it looks like we have that lined up, but I'm also going to just be on the safe side and find where he did his clap. Be sure it's synced properly to the clap.
Testing 1, 2, 3. This is the ornamentation.
Clap. Right. So me. There. Now, it's really difficult for me to judge because I'm using wireless headphones and they have a little bit of lag. So I would hook up my headphones to a wire, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm trying to think, would that mess up the stream? maybe. I can do that right now. That's essentially how I do the microphones. I'll verify the timing of that later, I guess. These are some other microphones. We're going to bring in these also. Can I just drag and drop that? Yeah, create video. Stop it. Okay, it lets me just drag and drop that down. This to be which H21. I don't know if that's front or back. I guess it doesn't really matter. This microphone records both frontwards and backwards. So I've dragged those over to timeline, and then I'm going to try to sync those up as well. And I'm just going to maybe this goes about right there. Mm. Mm. Just looking at like what it looks right. Let's see what we get.
Here.
Oh, somebody's playing. What's playing?
Oh, I can do this like, oh, this is good. Very good.
You know, I think that it's more this way. It's more this way. Where's this crap? I missed it. Where's the crap? Ooh, look at that. But this is claps right there. Look at the above track. That lines up pretty well. It lines up pretty good. But that's the claps. Okay. Let's see if I can line those up. No. If they're not exactly lined up, right? But I either have those two options. Okay, I'll show you a trick. I want to get finer detail than that. I'm going to right click, show audio time units. Now I can get a lot more detail. I can sure I get what I want selected. I can now very fine tune these. See if we can't get that right. Looking like it's right on the scene. This peak should be that peak probably, right? Oops. This one. It's very, 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 very close, right? I feel like it might could be like around right there. I feel like it might be that. Let's see.
Alright, now we'll set up cameras. I think I have followed all the directions. Next to your, say something.
Testing
So we have
1,
both.
2, 3. This is the audit ornamentation.
And here's the sink. Alright.
Okay, I'm listening for like if there's a delay in one, like if there's double claps, like an echo kind of sounding, that means that they're not synced up very well. But that sounds good. We can put the other, since it's such a long recording session, this microphone splits the files. So we're going to drop down the files at the end there after we sync them up. Okay, and do that same thing for the other ones. Let's call this XY. Let's call this this. Let's call this H2N1. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. I need to shower and stuff. I don't want to. I want to edit the rest of my video audio tracks. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna need 4. Let's see, there's 4 total microphones. Each having 2 channels, 2 tracks. That's 8 minus 2 I've already done, so I need 6 more audio tracks. I need 46 audio tracks. Okay, what we're gonna do. Got that a bit. Let's just hide these things so I can see it easier. Get X files first, dump it there, and then this. It should be a little bit easier to maybe to sync these together. Probably about in the same spot, right? You did a good job of starting things at the same time, which helps. That's pretty good. We can go into this. if it put it at the end of that clip or the it did the right one. Oh wait, that's the wrong fucking one, isn't it? It's the same as that one. I need to do that was one. I need to do two. MS XY was first. Then MS. Why is that? Why is that there? I didn't move that. Why is that like? That's obviously not right. There's no way. Oh, maybe it does. Let's see. Does it drop off there? Is it? Is it? Oh, maybe it does. If that's that even makes sense. Does that even make sense? No, this doesn't make sense. Why is there like such a drastic cut right here? Ugh, I need to shower and stuff, man. Okay, I'll have to work on this later. But you get the idea. That's how to sync Multicam settings, and we'll continue to work on the microphones. But right now I need to shower, and I might work on this more after I shower. But get the idea. Any questions? Let me know. Thanks. Bye.